Welcome to Anime Bakery. Today, we're unpacking a Pokemon card together, but in 3D. And guess what? It's Charizard EX. We'll build the entire 3D scene from scratch using Nomad Sculpt and Procreate. I'll guide you through the full process from scratch. By the end, you'll be able to design your own 3D Pokemon card and even 3D print it. Let's start sculpting Charizard in Nomad Sculpt. Begin with basic shapes. Use the tube tool to map the spine and tail. Turn on radius control to shape the tail easily. For the main body, flatten a sphere into an ellipsoid. Charizard has that bulky, lizard-like build. Clone another for the head. Now for the jaws. Since the nose area is flatter, I'm using a box instead of a sphere. I've added a reference image in the background to help get the proportions right. To round the box's edges, tweak the subdivision settings, decrease max subdivision and division X, then increase post subdivision. Once the jaws are in place, Charizard starts taking form with an open mouth pose. Let's move on to the arms and legs using the tube tool again. Don't forget to switch to the front view to refine the shape. When building complex forms, always check the side, front, and top views. Charizard's tiny arms and strong legs follow a dinosaur-like silhouette. After finishing one side, group the limbs into a mirror group to automatically generate the other side. I believe Charizard figure has its Jurassic ancestor. Then, what we are missing here is a pair of wings, of course. Again, we'll use the tube tool, tracing the basic shape inside view. In the profile settings, design a jagged section. Then increase the radius at both ends to fan out the wings. Adjust the control points to shape them more naturally. Next, use tube tool to create the skeleton of the wings. Meanwhile, I've also added horns and bones around the eyes using the tube tool. Radius variation adds that wild, creature-like detail. Use the trim tool to cut clean edges. And since symmetry is on, we only need to edit one side. Let's build the fingers and toes using more tubes. Once that's done, you can start joining body parts and smoothing surfaces. I recommend keeping the limbs separate for now. It makes posing easier later on. Time to detail Charizard's head. Use the clay tool with the sub mode on to hollow out the mouth. Then, sharpen the lips with the crease tool. Add color to the inside of the mouth. And for the teeth, use cones. Gently curved with the move tool. Replicate them for claws and toes. For the eyes, I have cut out a recessed iris. First, I'll paint the base color of the eye using 2 shades of turquoise on the initial layer. Then, on a new layer, I'll add the pupil. For the final layer, I'll sketch in the dark folds of the iris and gently blend them using the smudge tool to give the eye more depth. To finish, I'll add a translucent layer over the eyeball to act as the cornea. I'll dive deeper into eye sculpting techniques in a future tutorial, but for now, Charizard has its shiny, expressive eyes. Next, let's sculpt the tongue. Draw a curve using the tube tool and switch to a flat profile. Smooth it out, then paint it a reflective pink. Next, let's enjoy a chill moment just painting Charizard's body with shades of colors. Now we will get into the fun art, the flame, before we dive into the card creation. Start with a sphere on Charizard's tail. Use the clay and move tools to shape it into flame. For the fiery breath, duplicate the fireball and use a curve repeater with spiral settings. Increase the radius at one end to create an explosive effect. Open the material setting. In the color channel, we will use a realistic fire image. The fire seems very dim, and one of the key settings is to turn on the material unlit mode, which will reflect the true color of the mapping without the impact of lighting. Following that, in the opacity and emissive channel, we will import the same fire image. Let's apply the same flame effect to Charizard's tail. With the model done, let's build the 3D Pokémon card. I created two planes, one for the front card design and one for the foil border. Import a prism foil image into the material settings of the border and add a light source to see the shimmering effect. Load the same image into the metalness and normal channels and tweak until it gleams. Next, I'm going to add some 3D shapes that represent the card's battle stats, like HP, attack power, and weaknesses. I'll give some of these elements a silver material to create a metallic sheen, and apply a gold texture to the part that displays the EX rule, giving it that iconic premium finish. Now, let's create the energy type icons. These are semi-sphere shapes that sit on the card to show Charizard's fire type. To add the fire symbol, we'll use the stamp tool with a custom pattern. You can draw this in any 2D app, like Procreate. I used the freehand selection tool to trace the fire shape, and filled it with solid white on a black background. After exporting the image, I imported it into Nomad Sculpt as a stamp. In the color settings, I applied a black fill to the stamp and pressed it onto a red hemisphere I had prepared. Then I positioned this fire icon on the card in the proper spot. I also created another icon, a 6-pointed star that represents any energy type, using the same stamping method, and placed it beside the fire symbol. Now let's head back to Procreate to design the rest of the card visuals, including the background and all the text elements. I spent a little time painting in details to give the card some character. After adding all the text, I exported the image and returned to Nomad Sculpt. In the material settings of the main card object, I imported the image into the color channel. Then I clicked into the thumbnail to fine-tune the position and scale of the texture until it aligned properly. but we're still missing text on the raised elements of the card. For that, I jumped back into Procreate. After hiding the background layer, I exported it as a transparent PNG. Back in Nomad Sculpt, I added a simple plane and applied the PNG image in the color channel. This makes the text appear as if it's floating on the extruded elements of the card. Just like a real premium print. Now that the card is complete, let's bring our Charizard model into the scene. This part takes a bit more patience. We need to adjust Charizard's pose into a dramatic swooping attack stance. As a final touch, I added a cosmic background and scattered flame sparks coming from its fiery breath. To randomize the sparks, I used the random repeater tool. Super useful for effects like this. Check out my previous video for a full guide on using random repeaters. It's a fun and powerful feature. And that's it, a fully sculpted 3D Charizard Pokemon card. This fire-breathing monster is alive and ready. Try it out yourself and maybe 3D print it. Don't forget to subscribe to Anime Bakery and let me know which anime character you'd like to see next. Happy sculpting!